You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Very pleasant good evening. We are rounding third, heading for home at the end of year 5 of Small Biz Florida with Mr. Tom Kindred.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida, the podcast and broadcast that's all things business across the Treasure Coast and the entire state of Florida. Small Biz Florida is brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center Network and is produced by the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to highlight and promote business assistance resources, celebrate entrepreneurial success, and present best practices, and most importantly, provide timely business information for Florida's small business owners and operators. I am Tom Kindred, and I serve as the Regional Director for the Florida SBDC at IRSC. And as I always like to tell folks, I also have the scars of 25 years of private enterprise. So for me, the mission of this program is simple and clear. Make sure small business owners are aware of all the powerful business assistance programs available to help them start, grow, and succeed. And that is why we are here tonight. Got all kinds of things going on in terms of business. Unfortunately, the news is still pretty tough out there for small business owners and operators, still struggling to get back to biz, as we are saying. But a little bit of good news on the horizon. All 4 counties have small business grant programs available around the Treasure Coast, Indian River, St. Lucie, Martin, and Okeechobee County. The Florida SBDC at IRSC is supporting in different levels and different engagements across the 4 counties to help the county governments review, vet, and hopefully get this money in the hands of small business owners as quickly as possible. So again, in Indian River County, they've got a grant program very kind of narrowly focused on hospitality. St. Lucie County's is kind of wide open. There are some obviously eligibility requirements regarding number of employees and types of businesses. Martin County has a great program also going. And Okeechobee County's program is also open and operating. We've had a lot of some fun taking our MAC, our Mobile Assistance Center, around the last 2 weeks. We are Monday through Friday. The MAC unit is out in the counties. We are there to work with folks and help them get the applications completed and submitted. So. Again, a lot going on in terms of business and folks trying to get back up and running. And, again, that's what our show is kind of all about. So, Greg, everything all right in your world this evening?
That it is, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that the Southeastern Conference can play sports.
Now, what is the latest
because
on
the State College Association follows SEC.
Oh.
So if they can allow sports, it might look halfway decent for IRSC. So, well, we still don't know yet.
What do what does IRSC normally? What would be kicking off?
We
volleyball
would be
and
in
softball?
volleyball right now.
Okay,
but we'll just have to see. It's everybody. It's day to day in this thing.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So, and I, of course, I heard before we went on the air, some National League baseball games canceled.
Yes. Yeah, incident with the Mets down in Miami, and a couple guys came down with COVID. So,
wow,
it's one of those things. Got to be careful. Everybody in here wearing a mask.
That's right.
Very
that's
cool.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing our part. And
Yep.
tonight, I'm telling you, listen. You gotta. I always said if I could ever get a producer of this show, we would really take this thing up a notch or two. And I'm telling you, tonight. Powerful show.
All-star cast.
All-star. This is an all-star. We may run this one for the next 3 weeks. We may keep running this one over and over and over. Very happy to have with us tonight Miss Michelle Franklin, who serves as the property appraiser for St. Lucie County. Michelle, thank you so much for coming out tonight and being with us on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yep, been wanting to talk to you for a while. Of course, property appraiser, a big part of a business owner's operation. So we appreciate it. We'll have a good conversation tonight with Michelle. And we've got our very good friend and somewhat new arrival to Indian River State College. We've got Dr. Calvin Williams, who serves as the Director of Career and Transfer Services at IRSC. And I'm going to tell you right now, we've talked about this in the past on many shows, but you just won't believe the kind of programs that Career and Transfer Services provide at IRSC. It is impressive.
Can he help us find work?
Well, I've been talking to him. He's helping me now with my resume.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll put some effort into that.
I don't know.
for you.
Right.
That resume is a little different than it was 20 years ago.
Yes. So I had the conversation with Dr. Williams. Yes, he told me he'd look over my resume one day. So I was going for syndicated radio host. He said he heard the show and said, I don't know.
You wanted to manage your expectations.
We'll get you an internship first, and then we'll go from there.
Actually, the college station is using this for a time capsule.
Right, that's
and they're
right.
going to definitely bury it.
Right. They may bury it. When is, I probably, of course, I may be in trouble, but there is a public event next Tuesday.
Yep.
That I believe that date is August the 25th.
August 25th.
August the 25th. Again, they are going to unveil the naming of the main campus after Dr. Massey. So it is a public event, barring any afternoon thunderstorms. I would encourage folks to come out
or hurricane,
or potentially hurricane. Anyway, would encourage folks to come out. Going to be kind of a big afternoon. I don't have the actual flyer in front of me, but I think it's in the afternoon that they're going to 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay, 5 o'clock. They'll have a little ceremony, and then move into the Colville Student Union for a little probably punch and cookies to kind of celebrate the naming of the campus. Well deserved. Again, I tell folks all the time that. For so many people, the college has meant so much. But for me, who grew up here, and I lived right down the street in Orange Blossom Estates. We used to walk to the college campus. We used the tennis courts. We used the racquetball courts. I learned to swim in the pool at the college. I did Boy Scout events in the gymnasium. So the college for me really was a big part of growing up, and Dr. Massey's tenure as president certainly was a big part of my growing up and coming home and starting a career. And so again, it's going to be a big day, and so it is open to the public. So
and Coach Charlie Wilson wanted me to ask you if you could return some of the basketballs. He'd appreciate it.
I only kept a couple. So again, before we get started, I want to get to Dr. Williams, because it is always a really eye-opening conversation about our career. But I do again want to remind folks, small business owners and operators, especially in St. Lucie County, I want to remind you that they do have the small business grant program. It is open. It is there's about $3 million set aside for the county's program. There is not a major panic right now to get your application in, but I will stress, don't wait. Let's get to work on the application here quickly, and let's get it turned in. Again, it's going to take you a little time. There is some documentation you need to gather as a business owner, but again, anyone who's running a fairly legitimate business, these documents should be easy to put your hands on. So you can go to Recover St. Lucie, that's RECOVERSTLUCIE, recoverstlucie.org. And there's a big red box there, and click on that big red box, and it'll open up the eligibility, all the requirements, and it'll open up the application.
Now, if you receive the PPP funds, Are you eligible for this? Or
Yeah,
no?
absolutely. You're still eligible. They are attempting to kind of focus on businesses that didn't receive anything
Right,
to
obviously,
date.
yeah.
So there may be a little priority list going on, but no, it does not preclude you from applying and receiving the grant because you got PPP or an EIDL. Now you can't double dip. So if you used your PPP to make payroll, then they're not gonna, the county grant is a reimbursement grant, so you're gonna have to show that you paid bills, and they're going to reimburse you for those bills.
Sure.
So if you use the PPP to make payroll, then they're not going to reimburse you for that payroll. So again, there's a few things we just need to pay attention to, but that's why the Florida SBDC is here. So we are helping people make sure they're filling the applications out correctly. We're helping you gather information if you need it. So just you can get us at 772-336 6285. You can call and talk to Katie. She will point you in the right direction, or you can email us at fsbdc@irsc.edu. Either way. All right?
And if you watch this telecast on YouTube, Cliff will have your cell phone flashing at the very end.
Perfect.
They could call you 24/7.
24/7.
Right, because
Preferably in the middle of the night.
right, because I will tell you this: what was hilarious the other day was somebody called and said, "We got the flyer about the mobile assistance center being in Vero, and it says it's open till 12 a.m." We said, "That's probably not exactly accurate. We think that's 12 p.m." But anyway, sure enough, it said 12 a.m. So,
Oh boy.
So yes, it's easy to get to us, and we're there to help you. So with that, again, I encourage you guys to take advantage of this. So with that, I want to get started very quickly here with Dr. Williams, because we want to make sure we talk about this program. But Dr. Williams, welcome to the show again.
Thank you for the invite. Excited to be here and happy to be along with my distinguished panel mate.
That's right, the famous Michelle. Yes.
I will ask for autographs later. I'm not going to fanboy her right now, but
right.
I'll get it later.
Dr. Williams serves as the Director of Career and Transfer Services. Dr. Williams is relatively new to the college. Came in to the position held by, kind of a legacy.
Long-running
yes.
director, 30-plus years there,
Yeah.
so I got big shoes to fill.
Yeah, so we welcome you, and we're glad you're here, and we appreciate you taking time out tonight. So just give us a quick little review and history of your pathway to Indian River State College.
I will do that, and again, thank you for inviting me. We met, we had a conversation in the office. The shortest version of this background to kind of get into this is I'm originally from Jasper, Florida, North Central Florida. Did 20 years in the Air Force as a computer analyst. My educational background, my undergrad degree is in psychology. My master's degree is in counseling and human relations, and my PhD is in organizational psychology. We'll abbreviate that, psychology of the workplace. So I kind of help people get hired and stay hired is what my background is. I've been in career services in the state of Florida since 2010. I've worked at the major schools, if you want to call it, UCF. I've done career employee relations there. I left UCF and went to Florida State University. I ran their employee relations organization. We did 16 career fairs every year, so I network with employers around the country. I like to chase them. I got to Indian River State College in April as the pandemic was kicking off. Today, August 20th, is my 4-month anniversary in town. So I'm still excited, still learning things there. With that, I came in with Career and Transfer Services to identify ways to connect students with employers and employers with students. And, I've been enjoying it for the last 4 months, following that legacy and just trying to get my feet wet in the community, and happy to be on the show to network and meet some other folks.
So tell us, what does Career and Transfer Services kind of traditionally do at the college? What tasks and responsibilities does your department have?
Got it. I'll come from two different angles. The first side I'll talk about is students, and the other part is the employer. So my office is the professional development incubator for students. So if students need to get away from classroom theory to actual workplace application, my folks are available to do that. We help them select majors. We help them write resumes. We help them create cover letters. We show them how to network with employers, how to search for jobs, how to actually apply and go to those jobs on that side of it. And also with the transfer services. One of the neat things of this office is if a student finishes their 2-year degree at Indian River State College and they want to go to UF, I have someone on staff who actually helps them go through the transitional process of transcripts to UCF, program to program transfer to UCF. So that's unique for this office. On the employer side, I am a networker. Employers want to hire students, and I want them to hire our students. So I reach out to folks in the community around the state, around the country, to bring them on campus. They post jobs with us for free. If they need information on faculty, we put them in contact with faculty. And when we come out of this COVID environment, we actually put on career fairs. And then if you ask me, hey, we're still in COVID, we're actually working on virtual career fairs. I just secured a virtual career fair app on Monday, and we're going to launch in October. I'm still solidifying the dates. We're going to have 2 career fairs virtually in October, and I should have those dates ready to go on Monday.
Yeah, because you would normally have that in the gym.
Correct.
Because we've been there several
Correct.
times.
And with this COVID world, we can't have large crowds. We can't meet. I can't bring a bunch of folks on. But one of the good things about the virtual world, and I think it's kind of helped us, it sounds funny, but we can reach employers that we couldn't touch before virtually because they don't have to spend money to travel. They don't have to take time out of their day. They can do these things from home. And my goal is to have more students participate because they can do a virtual fair on their phone, on their laptop, on their iPad. But so there are some good things coming out of COVID, and the virtual applications are going to be those things.
So what always impresses me, of course, every time we have the conversation about career and transfer services, is really the robust support you provide the students. I mean, really, again, kind of drill down just a little bit. I mean, you help them with writing that resume and interview skills and talk a little bit about what the engagement that you've got with the students.
Well, and I appreciate it, but that engagement starts with faculty, so we have to build partnerships with faculty to give us access to students. But one of the things that we have started since I've been here is we call it the Career Ready Program. The National Association of Colleges and Employers, our founding organization, has identified 8 competencies that employers want students to have, and we've created an infographic to show those students. So every time we interact with them for their resume review, we're trying to show them how to interweave these 8 competencies within that. We do mock interviews. So we actually do practice interviews for students to get them ready. If a student has a blank piece of paper, we've created a resume guide to actually walk them through the concept of going from a blank piece of paper to actually having a resume. Then someone on my staff will actually sit there, review it. We have a score sheet. These are things that employers want to see on a resume. So it's not just me giving you my opinion. We have a standardized score based on those competencies that the students would get, and we give that to them as a report card. They make the changes, come back, then we actually have it. Another feature that we have is we have a free job database that employers can post, and we actually have students upload their resumes there so they can apply for jobs through the IRSC system without having to necessarily go to the Indeeds of the world. We actually bring in employers to them. So we take them from blank piece of paper and we have a resume. We take them from I don't know how to interview, we do mock interviews, and we give them feedback on that to help them improve. And then we show them how to network with employers. We show them how to reach out to employers, how to talk to employers at virtual fairs, the real fairs. And so anything that they need on a professional side that they're not getting in the classroom, we're going to do in the CTS office.
Right, and that's what is so impressive. So you're getting your degree at IRSC, and then you've got all this kind of career support too on the other side. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it from the employer standpoint, Michelle. Now, this is your part. Listen now.
I'm ready.
I mean, what I love about this too is you make it so easy for the employers to become engaged with potential students. I mean, the job postings. So talk a little bit about the employer side. Drill down a little bit in that side of this thing.
I will, and one of the things I say, and probably the only person with a PhD on a college campus, I'm a salesperson. And I use sales techniques for the employers to understand what their needs are for their hiring. And then from that, we actually guide them to programs. We guide them not necessarily to a student individually, but if they're trying to hire business students, we can show them the best way to do that. We also give them a sales sheet on how to post jobs with us. We walk them through it. We also give them best practices, because posting a job is one thing, but if you're actively working it, because now in that database they can email students, they can send us flyers where we can put it in front of students. We can also leverage their social media platforms to actually reach out. So I coach the employers on the best way, the best practices to reach college students. And then we also vouch for them, if you will, by following up and sending those same things to faculty and staff and also to the students. And we provide them an opportunity for the career fairs when we're on campus to come on campus. And now with the virtual, we're going to show them how to reach our students through the virtual platform. So we do that on a daily basis. We hunt and farm for employers, and then we actually show them how to be successful recruiting on a college campus.
Talk about internships. Are you engaged with internships? Do you help connect businesses to potential student interns?
We do. I actually have an internship coordinator, and I don't know if we talked about that when you're in office, but Christine Richards is our internship coordinator. She actually works with employers to identify what their needs are for internships. Based on what they put into our system, she reaches out to faculty, she reaches out to students as well. And the good thing about having an internship coordinator, if an employer doesn't know how to write a job description for an intern, she actually sit down with them and work that out, and they'll actually share information on how to create a good job description, and then we'll post it for them. So we want to make sure that's successful. So we show them what a good internship job description looks like, and we actually help them post it and put it out in front of our students.
Now, you touched on earlier this concept of transferring, I think, to
Yes.
to the universities. You know, I think, and again, I'm certainly not the expert on the history of the state college system, but I believe it. You know, I think part of the design of this whole system was that you could get a 2-year degree. I think there's 28 state colleges in the state of Florida. I think the original design was that no one would be more than maybe 50 miles away from an education. And part of the state college, original model was that you would get your 2-year degree and then potentially transfer on to the 4-year university.
Correct.
Talk about those transfer services. I mean, you really do help a student kind of create that pathway. If they come to you early and say, look, I really want to go to University of Florida, I really want to go to FSU, I mean, you really help them kind of get started, and then that transition is so much easier once they've completed their 2-year degree here, right?
It is, and because we have partnerships with majority of the state universities, and the program you said is 2+2. If you do 2 years with us, then your next 2 years will be at that state university. I also want to plug, since we offer bachelor degrees, we work on them to stay with us and transfer with us, but it's their decision. And yes, we actually sit down with articulation agreements with the different schools to identify what program goes where, and how, if the student needs transcripts to go to UF or FSU, a person on my staff actually helps the students get them there, and we have partnerships so they get them in the correct office. So it's not just on campus, it goes to a person who will actually then follow up with the student to transfer to the organization.
Yeah, and I certainly don't want to diminish the 4-year degrees at IRSC, but I think, again, what I always want to stress to students is, and young people, especially still in high school, that, any River State College is an incredible, it doesn't matter where you want to go.
Right.
IRSC is really that incredible stepping stone.
It is.
And so, my daughter, I had kind of two different pathways. My daughter immediately probably was more anxious to leave the house. So she immediately went to UCF. And my son said, I'd really like to go to the University of Florida. And I said, that's great. And I said, kind of your pathway to University of Florida is through IRSC. And that's exactly what he did. And it was amazing. He met with a counselor, told that counselor what his degree was going to be in. She reviewed and researched the University of Florida, so she knew exactly the classes he needed to take.
Right.
And they welcomed him with red carpet status at the University of Florida and got his 2-year degree at University College.
And our students do really well when they get to that 4-year level. And I would say we talk Florida. One of the interesting things I got when I got here in April is we actually have a student that transferred from IRSC, and he's in Purdue. So it follows you, but just so you don't lose credits. That's why Avi in my office works with you. You say, I want to go to Purdue. She shows you the correct path to transfer. You don't lose any credits, and you leave here great degree, save some money, and you go where you want to go. I think that's one of the big keys there.
And then I think the other issue is too, back to your point about the 4-year degrees. I mean, what a more convenient, what a more affordable.
Affordable is the key.
Affordable play. You know, I think there's some crazy statistic out there. I see it every now and again flash up on the big sign. 85, 90% or something of our students graduate with
95% with less than 2,000.
Yep.
Michelle pays attention to the
I
signs.
have this.
and that other flasher is the most affordable education in Florida. It's economical for them to get their degree, the 2-year degree here, and then move on. But this is a great place and a great springboard.
Yeah, and I just always, when I see students, wondering, what do I do after, it's such an easy place to come. The W building, you go in, you've got all kinds of folks in the W building that help you, that talk about classes. How do you, get you signed up for financial aid? And again, our good friend Ann Decker in the foundation, I don't want to quote her. I could be in big trouble. But she's got all kinds of opportunities for scholarships. And so it really, and it's an open, is the term open registration or open enrollment? I mean, there's no requirement of an SAT or anything.
Right.
I mean, you come to the IRSC. Right.
Open admissions.
Open admissions,
is the
right.
concept. You go through the application, you get that done, you apply for financial aid, and we make it as seamless as possible on the inside, and also for when you graduate or you want to transfer, we try to make it as seamless on that outgoing side as well.
Nice. So again, as we kind of get close to our break here, I want to make sure again, I think the key here, number one, it's always nice to stress what you do for the students, but I also want this business community to clearly understand that you are their first point of contact on campus.
I am the first again, my office is, because they want internships, they want to do job shadows, they have part-time opportunities, they want to do full-time opportunities. We can guide them as far as posting those on the system. We can guide them as far as reaching out to faculty. We can create hot job listings for our students to keep those employers on the forefront of students looking for them. But I always say, let us know what you're looking for, what you're trying to hire for, and then we can help you find that student for yourself.
And Tom, you don't know this, but we at the Property Appraiser's office have actually utilized this service.
Oh.
Unfortunately, we didn't find a student. However, we found a student's family member. So the student learned about the opportunity in our office, shared that job with the family member, and we hired the family member.
Nice.
So it may even extend beyond the student at times.
It will, because we are here for the community. Most of the services we talk about, we're saying students or alums, because even alums don't lose their services with us. They can still get resume reviews. We still meet with staff, and we still can send them hot jobs, because some employers want more experienced folks. They may not want somebody currently in school, so we have them in our database as well. And once a pioneer, always a pioneer. You never lose that capability.
Okay, nice. And again, beautiful facility. You're in the W building right there on Virginia Avenue, right there basically on the corner of 35th and Virginia.
Yep.
That's where a student would go to start all this, or parents would take their students to get started in all this. All kinds of folks in that building, advisors, financial aid advisors.
Correct.
That help you, fill out the application to get ready to go apply. And I'm assuming, what are we in now? We're in fall, so within a matter of probably 30, 60 days, you'll be talking about registration for spring.
We'll be starting registration for spring. Classes started yesterday, so we're just kind of coming down off the fall registration, but I think they give us a month or so before we have to crank it up again.
Okay.
And one thing that we didn't say is, and I'll do it really quickly, we also work with employers on upskilling. So if they want to train their staffs, we have a program where we can actually send out certificates, and we work with them on training for staff as well as recruiting for new hires within their organizations.
All right, phone number and email. How do we get in touch? And we want your cell number too, since Michelle. Since my cell number. Just kidding.
My email is kind of funky because my real name is Leonard, but if you just go to RSSC site, Career and Transfer Services, you can grab us from there. My phone number is 772-462-7467. That's my direct line, so you can call me there. My email officially is lwillia1@irsc.edu.
Okay.
They didn't make it easy for you to find me.
No, you're easy to find. Corner of 35th and Virginia. That's
Suite 104. is
Suite
where
104.
where
Piece
I'm-
of cake. Dr. Williams, again, thank you so much for taking time out this evening to talk to us about career and transfer services at Indian River State College. Great job.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yep.
Thank you.
And everyone stay tuned. We're going to be right back with the infamous Michelle Franklin from the St. Lucie County Property Appraiser's
I'm
Office.
fanboying her right now.
Looking to build a technical career with good pay and growth opportunities? Then register today for the Indian River State College's Marine Training Program. Hi, I'm Bob O'Brien with IRSC's Corporate and Community Training Institute. The Treasure Coast is a booming center for both boating manufacturing and recreational use, and the industry is growing over 20% per year. The Marine Training Program at IRSC will prepare the student to enter this high-demand field and work towards Yamaha factory certifications. Course topics will include theory and engine operations, maintenance and light repairs, as well as general knowledge and skills. Join a growing industry and start earning more today by launching a career in the high-demand field of marine engine and repair.
CCTI at IRSC Marine Manufacturing courses begin soon. For more information, call 462-7630 or visit irscbiz.com.
Taking your business to the next level requires money, and the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College has the expertise and connections to help you acquire your growth capital. Hi, I'm Michael Bernard, business consultant with the Florida SBDC at IRSC. We offer no-cost consulting and low-cost training to help you prepare and obtain financing. Whether you're looking for a traditional bank loan, government-backed loan, or a loan provided by an alternative lender, we have the tools, expertise, and resources to help you obtain the financing needed to succeed. While Florida SBDCs do not loan money or administer grants, our consultants maintain valuable relationships with local lenders and understand their lending requirements. Our certified business consultants, many of whom are former bankers and business owners, will provide confidential assistance to help guide you through the process of securing the right source of capital for your business.
For one-on-one business consulting at no cost, contact the Florida SBDC at IRSC at 336-6285, online at irscbiz.com. You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
And we are back. This is Small Biz Florida from the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute right here at Indian River State College. And for those of you just joined us, we just had a great conversation. He's still in the studio with us, so we may ask him one or two more questions. But we just had a great conversation with our very own Dr. Calvin Williams, who serves as the Director of Career and Transfer Services at IRSC. I always love talking about that. Great services for the students and for local businesses. And speaking of local businesses, we've got with us now a great guest. I've been wanting to have Michelle on for a long time, so she's been doing some other big-time radio shows, so we did finally get her booked, so we appreciate it, Michelle.
After I begged to come on, please allow me to join you. They finally took pity on me.
I know. We do appreciate it, Michelle, and we honestly appreciate, because I know when it's 5:30, 5:45, I know folks want to go home. It's long days now.
Maybe I'll get Michelle to open my trim notice.
Oh,
I noticed it's not open yet.
That's the first thing.
Thanks
you
for
said.
sharing
Right,
with
right.
everybody.
all right. So again, Michelle Franklin, who serves as a property appraiser with St. Lucie County. Again, we appreciate it. Michelle, again, it's all, our show's dedicated to small business, and I don't think, not all the constitutional officers really have a great effect on business, but you and of course the tax collector have daily engagement with small business owners and operators. So it's important that we know about the office and what you can do to help a small business. So kind of just give us a quick little brief overview of you worked in the office a number of years before you ran for the top spot. So kind of give us a little bit of your pathway to the property appraiser's position. Okay.
I actually started with the property appraiser's office in January of 2004. They didn't have a open position at the time, and if I would have known IRSC could have helped me at that point, that would have been great. But the services that they have today are just phenomenal. But I started in the office, and I knew if I could get my foot in the door, I could work my way up. And so I started off at entry level answering the phones, which was the absolute best thing ever looking back now, because, the call center is ground zero. Right. You get all kinds of questions there about every topic within the property appraiser's office. So over the years, the 12 years that I worked prior to being elected, I was super blessed to actually work in or oversee every department within the office. And then ran for office in 2016, took office in January of 2017. So pretty familiar with the going-ons in the office. Yes,
and it's always nice to see someone kind of work their way through the ranks. We know we've got great experience in the leadership position at the office, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
So let's kind of start with the basics. You mentioned trim notice. What is the trim notice?
The trim notice, it is, your actual name is the Truth in Millage Notice. And it was, you see he's got his notice right there. And it was created years ago so that property owners, and remember our small business folks, you have your real estate property and you have your tangible personal property. So property owners of all kinds would actually understand their tax statement when it comes in November. So remember, that tax statement's not from me, that's from the tax collector. Right. But we give you the notice prior to that tax bill. And so it was created just so that you would understand what local government was doing with their tax rate, as well as understanding from our office standpoint what the value of your property is and if there's any exemptions on that property.
So from a small business owner perspective, I mean, the trim notice is something they need to be reviewing to make sure that it's not any significant changes in what's going on in their tax liability in terms of their commercial property.
Well, absolutely, and even their personal property. Right. So many business owners are also homeowners. Right. So you want to open those trim notices. You're going to have one for each property, and you want to review a couple of things. There's a lot of information, a whole lot of numbers, a lot of columns, can be very confusing. But if you at least look at two pieces of information on that notice every mid-August when you receive it, is the value of your property, remembering that is the value as of January 1 based off of the prior year, and also if there's any exemptions on the property. And our tangible business owners, there's exemptions. So
right.
There's a $25,000 exemption that you can receive just by filling out your tangible return. So it's important to make sure that you have that exemption in place. Sometimes there's changes in businesses and in property, even tangible property, and the new owner may assume that the exemption comes with it. It does not.
Okay.
So it's important to open that timely, because if there is any challenges, we can help you.
Okay.
Now, when you get beyond and you receive an actual tax bill, at that point, we've certified our roll to Tallahassee, and all changes have to go through Tallahassee, and you and I both know there's a little more red tape there.
Yeah.
Gets more challenging.
Yeah. A little slower process.
It is a slower process, and we don't have control here at the local level about all of the issues once once the role has been certified.
Well, and again, correct me, but I mean, if with all that a small business owner has going on in their daily operations of this business, I mean, I guess it is sometimes feasible that they might not have taken this exemption. I mean, is that
Absolutely.
a possibility?
It happens frequently, actually, as well as sometimes the mail can get lost.
Right.
You know, we have over 174,000 properties in St. Lucie County just on the real estate side. And so we're doing a mass mailing and you know, people move and you can change your P.O. box or you can change where you want your mail to go or you're on vacation or, you know, things happen. So they're also uploaded and they're on our website. You can view them there at any point in time during the year. But you'll receive that in the mail and you want to check it every year to confirm that you agree with the value and that you do have exemptions in place.
All right. And I want to, I made a note. I want to talk about your website because it really is a very nice website. Lots of information.
Thank
I think
you.
Easy
Work hard on that.
Easy to use. Well, you did good. You did good because, you know, a lot of folks that we work with sometimes as consultants, they're looking to purchase property. So it is very easy for us to go in there and kind of pull values and help them put together a business plan. So let's talk about the website in a minute, but let's continue on a little bit. So how do you value the property? What is the formula in valuing specifically like a commercial piece of property?
You're looking for my dartboard? That's a joke.
Right.
No,
yes.
we actually use sales of like properties or neighborhood close proximity properties. When you get to commercial, it gets a little more into the like properties. There may be further distances between those.
Right.
But we use those sales from the prior year. So the sales, the transactions that are happening in the market, that's what determines the market and the value for the following year. When we make every effort to do it right, and doing it right is just a mirror of the market.
Okay. And you know, you use the word market. Let's talk about St. Lucie County for a minute. Where have we been? Where are we going in commercial property? You know, let's face it.
How far back are we going?
Well, I know. Yeah. Let's not go back to my childhood. But,
Okay.
Because
I wasn't here.
But, you know, I mean, St. Lucie County, you know, we live here. This is our town. You know, we're proud of it. But, you know, we have, you know, this county, let's face it. I mean, it has been a little bit of a roller coaster through the decades.
Sure.
We've had some great years, and when I think folks kind of saw us as a little bit of a diamond in the rough, and then we hit the recession of, you know, 07, 08, 09, and so where are we on the roller coaster right now? Are we at the top? Are we at the bottom?
Yeah,
where
that is a great question, and my crystal ball is a little cloudy.
Right.
And I know,
you don't have
this
the
is
you
being
don't have the
recorded.
you don't have the 8 ball where you flip it on. Yeah.
I'll be held responsible for what I say here. But, you know, in general, commercial is going to follow the rooftops. And if you've been near Tradition or the south end of the county, you've probably seen some new rooftops. So I think, you know, this COVID time is going to add a different layer.
Right.
And it's still to be seen what kind of impact that has. Definitely, people are learning how to do it remotely. And we may not need as much office space as we once needed.
Certainly.
But I saw something from Dr. Jerry Parrish, and once again, he's talking Port St. Lucie is $500,000 in a very short period of time, and it's like you said, that area down in the Tradition area, all the way down to Martin County, it's going to explode.
All the way to that line, definitely. You know what happens? We get information before they build. We are the official mapper of St. Lucie County at the Property Appraiser's office. So we receive those plats. So you see a little bit ahead of what's coming and the number of rooftops that are you never know how quickly they'll get built exactly. But you can see what's coming, and we've got more in the pipeline.
Do property appraisers? I'm gonna assume there's a Florida Property Appraisers Association.
Exactly.
And y'all have wild parties at once a year at some resort hotel, I'm sure.
Hopefully, it's not the same one the sheriffs were at.
What
appraisers are a real wild bunch.
I was gonna say, is that like sort of like an accountant's meeting? Yes.
Probably close.
Right. So a lot of calculators and pocket protectors and things. So when you get with other property appraisers, I mean, where are we in the state of Florida? Are we still a good place to look for investment, or are we still kind of that diamond in the rough? How do people kind of view the Treasure Coast in St. Lucie County? Are we still maybe a good bargain at this point?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, the one thing we're not building here is more land.
Right.
So, all of our friends that are coming down from up north and our friends that are coming from down south, which is about 50-50 roughly to what's coming to St. Lucie County. We've got perfect weather. That's what the folks from up north say. Down south, they're excited. We have less traffic. And many of them it appears, we don't get occupation when they file for homestead, but those that are coming here to live, they do file for homestead, and we get ages. And it would appear based on those ages that they're either just retiring or about to retire.
Right.
And so they're going to call this, that next chapter home.
Right.
And let me jump in. Speaking of that, on our website, we have a map layer where you can actually go in and view where the new homesteads are coming from. So if you zoom in, you can see every county in Florida and how many people moved from that county to St. Lucie County and filed for homestead, as well as zoom out and see all the way that last year we got one from Alaska.
Wow. Are we still an affordable place to live in term? I mean, obviously compared to a Miami or a Tampa or Jacksonville, obviously we're going to be less expensive. But in terms of like counties, rural counties, kind of like ours, are we still, we're an affordable place to come buy a home, and our tax rate is still reasonable? Is that all a fair statement?
That is fair, absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, there's services here, that you may not find in other counties. And the close proximity, not only to an Orlando or Miami, but West Palm and what they offer. It's a great value, and it's a super wonderful community to live in, I think.
Right. And again, I think what is so appealing about some of our communities, certainly St. Lucie County, is we really are kind of in the middle of things, and you could get to Brevard County very easily. You could get to Palm Beach County very easily. I mean, we're very well connected with I-95. You could live here and work in one of those counties, and that's really not too terribly a horrible commute.
It happens, yeah. Well, I believe, and I don't know this estimate right off the top of my head, but I believe 60% of our workforce actually leaves the county for work.
Yeah,
so they're hopping on that.
I heard that statistic one day, and I had to stop, and I had to say that again. So, I think you're right. In fact, I may have heard a figure that's a little higher that actually leaves St. Lucie County to go to work every day.
We had a fella on from the TPO, the transportation bunch, yesterday on the morning show, and he was talking about it's like 2 or 3 new turnpike exits, and even more for 95 too. So it's here.
Let's talk a little bit about the whole homestead exemption. Kind of explain homestead exemption. You can only have it once, right? You can't have it on a vacation home and your home here. Talk a little bit about the homestead exemption. How does one file? Is it a big process when you move here to get that done? How does it all work?
It's a super easy process. You just hop online, paslc.org, and you can file online. Anybody who can type in their name and hit enter can complete it. Takes less than 10 minutes to do so. And homestead is really a 2-part benefit. Part 1 is you're going to get $50,000 off of your assessed value. So if you have a $200,000 home, you're going to pay taxes on $150,000 of it instead of $200,000. And then the second piece, which tends to be the greater benefit over time, is that you're going to receive a 3% cap on that value. So each and every year, you won't see a large increase. That cap value is 3% or less based on the Consumer Price Index. So we find out that percentage each and every year. The last several years, it's been less than 3%. And it provides you with a benefit that year after year allows you to save more and more money. The homestead in St. Lucie County, roughly where you're at, depending, there's different taxing authorities within the county and where you're located. But you're going to save somewhere in the neighborhood of $800 just from the $50,000 exemption. Wow. So you do not want to miss this benefit. And I take it personal if we haven't reached people and they don't have the
Well,
benefit.
my question was going to be, do you think there's anybody out there who has not filed for their homestead exemption? Is that really possible?
Yes, it hurts my heart when I find them. A young gentleman was a firefighter, bought a first home at 20 years old and just didn't know.
Right.
Finds out 2 years later there's a benefit. So just, it happens. And I try my hardest, but it does still happen.
Well, you're on Small Biz Florida tonight. This will clear all that up.
Thankfully. Excellent.
Right. So let's talk real quickly about the website, because it is such a great website. What can people find on the website? How does a business owner utilize that website?
I would encourage them to just kind of surf around, paslc.org. You can find not only about your property, any property in St. Lucie County. You can find out the value. You can find out when it's sold, how much it's sold for. You can find out what exemptions are on there. We didn't even go into portability, so call the office. We'll talk about portability. That's moving your tax savings from your current property to another property in Florida. You can look up tangible personal property information. There's a ton of different map layers on there. So one of the things you talked about that may be interesting to a small business is they see that they broke ground across the street and they want to know what's going on across the street.
Yeah.
If you are in the city of Port St. Lucie right now, we have a layer on our website where you can link in, click on that property, and it will take you directly to the city of Port St. Lucie and tell you that that's a Popeye's kitchen coming up there. I use Popeyes because we've had several of those built recently. But you can find out, in fact, what approved projects are coming next.
Wow, that is great. Wow. Yeah, that is
and if they have
good.
any questions with using the website, call us, 772-462-1000, and we will walk you through what you can do. You can also print mailing labels. Let's say you're a small pool company and you want to get a hold of everybody in Lake Charles that has a pool, so you can mail them a postcard and tell them about your great service. You can go on, pull off that mailing list, and print the labels.
Come on, Michelle.
Right
Hold
there.
on.
You
Let's
can
go.
extract that,
Wait a minute.
print them right on the
Wait a
label.
minute. We
Tom's
need
tractor service.
That's right. We need an extension on time here. I want to go back to that's huge. That's a marketing tool for a small business owner.
Absolutely. And it's free. Better yet.
Wow.
You gotta love free.
That's right.
All right, we need to have that conversation again. We need to get that out to our clients.
Absolutely.
All right, Michelle, great information for small business owners and operators and for homeowners. It is Michelle Franklin from the Property Appraiser's Office here in St. Lucie County. And with that, we will bring to close another segment of Small Biz Florida. You can always get more information at the irscbiz.com site. And with that, we'll talk to you next Thursday evening on Small Biz Florida right here.
You've been listening to Small Biz Florida on WPSL Port St. Lucie, WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station, on Alexa and Google Home, and worldwide on TuneIn.
With any business, the most valuable asset are the people and the teams, no matter how small or large the organization. Hi, I'm Catherine Culhane, Associate Director for the